Welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raff.
We did it. We made it.
Because when a band's name starts being everywhere, it can be very easy to go like, okay, like.
Just because I know what it's like to feel left out and to feel like people are weird or mean to you, and so I never want to be that person. And I want.
This here is my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
Big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you can just relax.
Brian was sitting down with his longtime friend and his former bandmate Meegs from Cold Chamber, and they were having coffee, and Brian was.
When those questions go, those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, people y'all don't even know what's coming. People just are gonna be minds are gonna be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger.
What is happening, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
What's going on, everyone?
We're the two dudes who talk music, and we are back on your screens and in your ears for another podcast episode today. If you are new around here, welcome. We are two friends from Sydney, Australia, who are big fans of music and in particular alternative music, and we like talking about it with each other and with you amazing people. So, you know, if that sounds like your jam, subscribe button's right there. We'd love to have you along. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. I don't know how likely that's looking at this stage, but hey, we would love to have you along for the ride, nonetheless.
Better to try. Better to reach for the stars than never go for it.
Absolutely. We have the podcast as well as multiple reaction videos each and every week. So check that all out. We've got playlists of all of our stuff. And we all do also have a Patreon as well, if you're interested. That is just a couple of bucks a month. Helps cover some of the costs of us running the channel because, you know, we're still a small channel. We're not doing this. We're not making bucket loads of cash out of this or anything. So it just helps to cover some of the running costs there. You get everything early and ad free. And I will right now give a shout out to our amazing Patreon subscribers. So we've got Alien, Ghost Tech, Tarask, Tim, and the other one. As always, thank you. Massive shout out to that amazing crew who has been supporting us for a while now. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
But before we get into the podcast today, or the guest today, mate, how have you been? What have you been up to?
So I listened to the Igor album.
Yep.
What an absolute sonic masterpiece.
Told you.
It was an absolute marvel, and I'm so happy that I kind of waited and just had a really weird day when I was on the drive home and listened to it, and it was just, it was special.
That's it. It's one of those things, man. Like, highly recommend it. You know, it's the kind of album that doesn't come along very often, but I do want to give a shout out to all the people that have been watching that video as well. The Igor video, commenting on that, making recommendations, telling us to go and check out older stuff from those guys. We absolutely will. We'll go and check out some of that stuff. But yeah, big thank you to everyone on that one, because you know, it's not often our reaction videos stir a lot of comments, so we like to, you know. We love it when you guys get involved. So if you like that one, then go and check out some of the other ones because we got a whole mess of them on the channel for you.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. We love doing them. We love seeing your comments too.
Yeah, we do. They're lots and lots of fun.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, we sometimes on the videos, there's a lot of them. I guarantee you we read every single one.
Yeah.
We read every single one. So love hearing from you guys. But yeah, man, I'm glad you checked out that album.
Dude. Yeah, and anyone that just enjoys music should really do it. If you're just looking for something that's a bit different outside you, just any wheelhouse. I don't even know what wheelhouse you'd put it in, but it's just a sonic masterpiece.
It's very good. Well worth checking out.
How have you been, my friend?
Oh, I've been busy, mate. You know, been getting out to a lot of shows recently. Last weekend was out at Greaser Bar for Slugfest.
Nice.
Got to you know, catch some of the bands that we've interviewed in the lead up to it, as well as you know, get some footage of everybody. I think there's a video up on the Hot and Heavy YouTube channel for it. So if it's not up there now, it should be up there soon. So go and check that out. Just a little bit of footage of all the bands from the day, which was really cool. You know, got to hand out a lot of cards, talk to a bunch of bands. You know, which was awesome. couldn't quite watch everyone's full sets because there was a bit of overlap, but also I've got to give a shout out to the boys in Where the Devil. Getting to see them in person for the first time was really, really cool. They definitely seem like they're coming along, like they're getting better, day by day. They put out a video of their time up in Queensland, and they included some of our footage in there. Big thank you.
Yeah, big
thank you to the guys for that one. But yeah, so I've been doing that, been preparing, working on music stuff, obviously in the background. Yeah. Hopefully some kind of announcement, I don't know, soonish maybe. I'm not sure on the timeline on stuff yet. But
yeah, it'd be great if we could announce it for the live stream. It's like a little teaser for the end of your live stream.
But hey, like pieces are coming together. Like this at the time this video goes out, we will have already done it. But I'm currently preparing for a film clip shoot. I've been working on in the studio a bit for one of the songs. So hopefully this means that we will soon have the pieces we need to make some kind of official announcement. So don't worry, when the stuff comes out, you guys are going to know about it. And I've also actually been pondering, not that I don't have enough plates spinning at the moment, but I've been pondering perhaps some more YouTube stuff. So
okay,
basically, I don't know. I've been thinking about the idea of doing a series of videos. I don't know if it'd be here or on a separate channel.
Yeah.
Basically, just doing cover songs. So like,
yeah.
I would like, the whole point of the video would be like, I would sit down, I would film myself through the process of learning a song start to finish, and then sort of condense that down, to about
the best bits.
To about sort of 10 or so minutes of me working through learning the song and the frustrations and the joys of that process, and then finishes with a playthrough of the song. So I don't know if that sounds like something you'd be interested in. Maybe let us know. I don't know what sort of schedule I'd be releasing them on or anything. I might, I don't know. I might play around and make a few of them and share them with some trusted confidants and see what people think.
Yes,
but I've got some new gear on the way. So I'll finally be able to do like a big pedal board upgrade and everything.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, having fun with it, mate. Excited. But speaking of excited, today's guests.
Yeah. We have Alexi. He's a friend that I met a little while ago at a show. I think it was one of the last ones out in North Sydney that I went to, and he's in a band called Blackened. So today we're interviewing the lead singer for Blackened, Alexi. He's got a brand new lineup. He's been on hiatus for a while. It's great to see him smiling again, and yeah, I can't wait to have a chat with him.
All right, let's get to it. Big thank you to Alexi from Blackened for joining us today. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, doing pretty well. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah. No, we're doing well. Thank you so much. Now, Blackened, you guys are sort of like a bit of an old school, like gothic metal, type thing. Is that for those that may not be familiar, what sort of bands would you liken your sound to?
I think sort of the main influences have always been some gothic metal giants like Typo Negative, him, the 69 Eyes, definitely. I think we did take a little bit from like Ghost. Also in the past, we did take some inspo from like 80s bands, like Whitesnake, for example. Mm-hmm. Gotta love Coverdale, man. But I think, especially with sort of like the newer direction we're going to, we're definitely leaning more towards this 90s, 2000s gothic sound. Like another band I could probably say is like Poison Black or Paradise Lost a bit. I'd say that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I always said the first time I saw you guys, it was like if the Doors and Metallica had a baby.
The Doors and Metallica.
Yeah, because it's heavy enough, but it's just got this really, especially along with the keyboards.
I think
yeah, I don't know.
I think that's definitely a bit of like an old statement, I would say, because we're definitely moving a little more towards heavier realm now, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know out there, explain a bit of history about the band, because I do know that you guys have announced that it's pretty much a whole new lineup now.
That's true. Yes. So it's just me out of the old lineup, and I got 4 new lovely guys. So basically, just to give a bit of context for everyone, I founded the band around like late 2022. I wanted to basically create sort of like a mix of gothic metal and some 80s influences, actually. A band that really succeeds in it is the 69 Eyes, with their sort of goth and roll style. So I wanted to create something like that with a bit of fun, but also having that melancholy and dark vibes from gothic metal, And so we've been playing around since early 2023. Had 3 singles out with the old lineup, but then sort of things have changed a bit. Everyone's sort of like had some different priorities, and basically the band sort of like split up. So we had basically at different points of time, all the different members sort of left, or I let go of them. And basically that happened around June 24. So when we did our sort of last gig, and then we released Danger, which was our previous single. Sort of since then, it was a bit of a hiatus, where I just been trying to find new members. I was writing some more music. Naturally, what happens, so this year I was really lucky to find these 4 amazing people. So I got Finbar Heather on bass. He used to play in Stumble most recently, and he has a bunch of experience under his belt. He's sort of like the oldest guy in the band, but he's a great mastermind of his own. I got a young guitarist, Axel. So I got drummer Josh, who used to be in So I Says to Mabel, actually.
Oh, okay.
And we got also a new keyboard player, Vin. Yeah, so basically it's a whole new lineup, and we're sort of like, we're working through some new songs. We're really keen to come back to playing live.
Hey.
And how is the new lineup going in terms of the previous material? Do they pick all that up pretty quickly? Are they putting their own spin on it?
Yeah, so there's definitely a few differences happen, like a few little changes happen. We sort of haven't carried through all of the songs, I did drop some of the old songs. I got the guys to learn some of the old material still. So like, the 3 singles that the older singles that are out on Spotify and everywhere, we're still going to play them live, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But for most of the material, we actually decided to tune down a bit. Actually, we decided to drop, half step, sort of from E to E flat, actually. And some of the new material is actually in drop C sharp too. So
okay.
getting that sort of like a little bit of heavier sound, plus it works a bit better with my vocals personally, just because they're a bit sort of lower, you want to get a little bit of that doomy sort of vibe for them,
How'd your keyboard player go with shifting it down by a half step?
Funny enough, you know what, when we first sort of auditioned in, that was like probably the biggest worry of mine. Like, if they can play in odd keys like A flat, E flat, like those keys where it's like you only have like one or two natural notes, that's can be quite challenging. But he absolutely nailed it. Yeah, like he has no problem with playing in any of those keys, or if we switch to any sort of like modes, etc.
I suppose these days a lot of the keyboards just come with an option where you can just shift it anyway, which might solve a bit of the problem. But
as far as I know, like keyboards mainly can shift it like an octave up or down. I think, but I think the keys are in general still the same. Otherwise, I feel like that's going to be really confusing. The black keys suddenly become white.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, I was having a listen to this stuff. When Kyle was like, "Yeah, this is who we're going to have on," and I mean, maybe I'm just running in the wrong circles. I don't know, but I don't really feel like there's any. I haven't really been aware of any other bands doing this kind of sound in Australia. That much. It feels very different from what even a lot of the other bands that would label themselves as being like a gothic influence band are doing at the moment. Is that like an intentional choice to try and help stand out, or it's just you guys are just doing what you think's cool, and it just kind of came about that way?
Thanks, man. Yeah, like I think like it was a bit intentional, like a little bit. I still like my general intention was to combine just the two things that I loved at the time, which was gothic metal. I really got into Type of Negative. I really got into him. And just combine it with just the cheekiness and fun of the 80s hard rock, and just sort of like try and use that concoction, I guess. But I definitely understand what you mean, I guess. Like I do know, I personally know gothic bands like Department of Gloom or Carmeria, or even, I don't know, like Victoria K, for example. So like they all have their gothic influences, but they all sound sort of like in their own vein. I think goth is quite a broad sort of like umbrella.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely.
100%
Well, that's it. Like Department of Gloom are very like kind of the goth rock type band, that like 70s 80s goth rock type thing.
Yeah, but interestingly, exactly, that's like you would say goth rock, but then like they sound completely different from like other goth rock bands like Sisters of Mercy, like sort of like I feel Department of Gloom are really lovely guys. I sort of like, for me, they do sound sort of like a really darker version of Kiss, for example. Like sort of gothic version of Kiss. And that's awesome. Like, I really love what they're doing. I'm good mates with Lino. He's an amazing dude. So, definitely all thumbs up to them. Like, I'm actually keen for them to release something new.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I it was awesome to chat with Lino not long ago. Actually, we had we had Lino and John on the podcast in the run up to the Melody Black reunion show. And I mean, like, Lino's he's one of those guys that he's basically been a fixture in the Aussie music scene for a long time now.
Sure, since like what, Candy Harlots?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's he knows what he's doing, and he's doing, he does what he likes to do, and just has fun with it.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, it's always nice to see one of his whenever one of his various projects pops up on something. I'm always like, oh yeah, cool. That's fun to see. So the new because you guys just dropped a single as well, right? Is that Crimson Red Snow? Is that the one?
Yep. Just over a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What can you tell us about that one?
Well, so this one is sort of like I treat it as a very much a transitional single, and I think it fits that role perfectly. I think it's sort of a very much of a swan song of the old Black and Rose. I sort of call it as a chapter 1 of Black and Rose, but it's also an introduction to what the direction of we'll be going with chapter 2 is the new lineup, sort of, because still it was recorded with the old lineup of musicians, and then I sort of like kept it in the vault for a little bit. It just really waited its return. It was sort of like the last song we have worked on with the old lineup. So I think it is really sort of like an epitome of chapter 1. But then like I've worked on my vocals a lot more. So we re-recorded some those vocal tracks later with Jack Haycroft, actually, who co-produced the track and mixed it. And I also got a guest feature on the track. Actually, I got a solo. So the guitar solo was actually recorded by Jerry Zahija of Carmeria.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See, Chimera is a name that's been popping up a lot recently on my radar. Man. I haven't actually checked them out yet, but I've seen a lot of talk
Major
about
played with them recently.
I will definitely recommend Carmeria, guys. They're a fantastic band. I've seen them now 3 times, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, they're absolutely awesome. They're sort of like this gothic metal with big sort of symphonic influences, you know?
Ooh.
So they sound very cinematic, very epic.
You know? So, okay, have you listened to that new Igor album?
No, actually.
I'll listen to it, Raff.
You had to listen the whole way through?
Bro, my God. What a piece of art.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chimera. So if for someone that's never heard them, I guess from what you're describing to me, they sound sort of like akin to something like, say, Lacuna Coil or Nightwish sort of vein type stuff. Like
yeah, sort of. Definitely
that kind of gets
way.
me in the ballpark.
Yeah, well, male vocals though.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So
why did I think they had a female vocalist? I don't know.
They have a female bassist, Emma. Emma is their bassist. She does sing on one of the tracks actually on their last album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. For some reason I thought they had a female vocalist. There you go.
But no. Their vocalist is Jordan, who also sings for Bad Moonborn, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's and so yeah, there's this. So Crimson Red Snow is a bit of a holdover from the old lineup. Then you were saying, and then but you've redone a few parts of it to try and get it, somewhat of a updated, akin to what the new lineup's going to be bringing.
I just really wanted it to have like a big sound, sort of like I didn't want it to sort of fall flat, So we definitely, me and Jack, we just sort of sat down quite a lot and mixed through a lot of parts, and we recorded a lot of sort of like extra vocals. I even do like a little bit of screaming on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is, well,
completely new for you.
Judging by your reaction, that's totally unexpected.
Yeah, it was. How are you feeling stepping into that realm?
I definitely would like to explore it a bit more.
Okay.
Sort of like, I don't think Black and Rose is gonna go to like a full screaming sort of band, you know. But I think it really puts a lot of extra emphasis on certain parts of the song.
Yeah.
So just adding those extra little bits here and there, extra phrases, is fantastic. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So
like,
just use it as a bit of spice.
Yeah. It's more of a spice rather than, you know, like a tool where like I would scream like the whole verse, you know, sort of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I like it.
The one thing I'll say on that realm is like if you're sort of new to doing the harsh vocals type stuff, just find tutorials on the ways to do it properly. You know what I mean? So that you're not going to damage your voice, damage your vocal cords doing it, because it's very easy to do the wrong way, especially if you're not doing a lot of it. And you know, I mean, I for years of was doing it with all sorts of horrible technique as a backing vocalist, and I've, you know, it's not if you're new to it and it's sort of territory that you haven't really gone into before, then I would highly recommend. And there's tons of tutorials out there on YouTube that you can check out that'll give you all sorts of tips and on how to get it sounding right.
I've actually reached out recently to Marty from Russian Novel. So I've reached out to him actually. So maybe we can sort of do something with him. Sort of like I sort of asked him for a bit of tutelage, you know. So hopefully can get something done there actually.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's good that you can go out and ask for help too.
Yeah.
Sort of like we made contact with Marty just a few months ago. Sort of like I saw one of the shows, basically. I think it was at Blackened, and Russian Novel were playing, and I literally came up to him and sort of like I asked like, "Hey, dude, like, why is your band called Russian Novel? Like, I'm Russian. I want to know." And yeah, sort of like we just added each other on Facebook, and sort of stayed a little bit of contact since, and then he got recommended as because he does tutoring.
That's it. Getting some sort of guidance on that will make a big difference, because if you're already an experienced clean singer, then you already know like how a lot of the stuff feels, so it's a lot easier for you to pick that up and transition that across to utilizing it for harsh vocals. So that's really cool though. I like that you're stepping into that new territory and exploring that.
Very cool.
I will say that it was a bit of a in-studio accident.
Oh,
that's how the cool stuff happens.
So it's a little bit of a funny story, I guess, but basically we just finished tracking like all the lead vocals, and we're just sort of listening back to the track, and just as a joke, basically, I was like, definitely like at the end of this track that it really needs that like sort of like a silly emo thing, you know, which is like, she's dead. And I just screamed it right on the mic because I just did it as a joke. And Jack actually caught the moment and he recorded that. And so that ended up on the track. And he's like, no, you're doing another take for the end of the song now.
That's how lots of fun stuff happens, man.
That's actually it.
And when you've got good producers and good crew that know what they're doing, they can really capture stuff like that. So that's amazing that you were able to get something like that sort of started out as a, you know, you were like, oh, wouldn't it be funny to do this? And then it's like, yeah, okay, cool, let's do it. You know, it's important to have people that are open to that stuff when you're in the studio.
Exactly.
Yes, it would be funny. Why haven't you done it?
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly. You need that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
we did it.
Is there so in terms of working on the new songs with the new lineup, is there is there like recording going on at the moment? Is it still all sort of in the writing phase? Is there plans for, you know, other releases in the near future, or is that more of a long-term thing for you guys?
So not in the nearest future, but that's sort of a bit obvious. Like everyone's going to holidays right now, you know, Christmas is around the corner. It's sort of does make sense for us to do it, but I will say in the first like sort of quarter of next year, definitely like in the first few months of 26, we're gonna drop something. Definitely. Okay. We have been working on a few songs with the new lineup. Sort of most of them are in like polishing phase now. I think we only have one where I'm still writing lyrics to it, for example. But like musically it's finished, for example. Okay. So I think it's mainly like polishing phase right now. And where we just basically just trying to work out all the little details and just play it as tightly as possible. And then I think in the plans it would be probably to start recording sometime in December and just go with it, you know, like probably record. Well, I think it makes sense for us to maybe record 2 or 3 songs and then sort of space them out perhaps as singles over the next few months. I'd say so.
I would agree.
Yeah, that seems to be the way now. I mean, it's this is the thing. Like, I think a lot of us in the metal space, we're still can get very stuck on the idea of albums. Has to be albums. You know, releasing albums as a whole thing. And look, if that's the thing, if that's what people want to do, then go for it. But but I think people need to understand the reasons why they're doing it. You know,
and it's integrity thing. Like, sorry, it's like, you know,
but like I think, I get it. Like some people feel that, you know, like with heavy metal being meant to be like this rebellious, like against the grain sort of thing. It's like, okay, well the pop industry is moving towards, you know, moving away from albums and going more towards just this single driven market. We want to, you know, and that's just what's funny because heavy metal was so looked at as being like this thing that was pushing the boundaries and doing new things. And now it's almost flipped. Like the market's changed on how they want to handle releases of music, and heavy metal's going, no, we're going to stay doing it the way we've always done it. Right.
That's true.
But I think it's, if you want to release, if people are releasing albums for like, because they want to do a whole package that's a consistent theme, or like it's a concept album or whatever, that's how they want to do it, then okay, cool, there's an artistic reason to do it there, that's fine, you know. But they, at the same time, they have to be honest with themselves and accept that that is going to not be likely to get the same kind of engagement as utilizing a waterfall strategy of releasing, you know, a single every, you know, 2 months over the course of 18 months to 2 years. Yeah. Which if you're writing the same amount of songs to do both ways, maybe that's how
it's like a drop feeder. Yeah. Like, exactly. Sort of like I would love to release an album. I would love to also like release it physically. You know, I sort of like that. That's one of my wishes. You know, I want to hold my own album on like a CD. You know.
Yeah.
But
and there is something to that. There is something to
100%.
Yeah. But right now, it's sort of it doesn't make sense for Black and Rose to go that way, just because I think an album or at least an EP needs to be justified with fan base, for example. You know, like
100%.
And right now, like obviously, like we've been missing for like over a year. You know, like nothing has been happening. Nothing was happening. You know, and then like we just came back with a new single. You know, and so like it's still a bit of a climb up, right?
Yeah.
So, like right now, I think my strategy is exactly just try and build that solid fan base, like of active people who are actively interested in our music, who want to follow, who want to come to our shows, who want to support us. And when that's built, I think that's when there's going to be the time to talk about something bigger, like an EP or even an album. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that line. I'm stealing that.
Like
albums can be justified by your fan base.
Yeah, because
it's pretty spot on.
Otherwise, like you say, release an album like 10 songs, right? But the only songs that are getting like really good streams that are in spotlight would be like the songs that you've released as singles, and sort of then like it just overshadows all the other songs because most people would just be listening to singles. And like if you release an album and your single gets like say 10,000 streams, right? But then all the rest of the songs, they just get like barely over 1,000. Like it's sort of like doesn't really make sense. It makes more sense to release then all of these songs consecutively as singles, and all of them actually get 10,000.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And look, if you're in a position where you're a band that has been around for a while and you know that physical CDs are going to sell, do an album. 100% then do an album, because you're going to get a completely
different sort of like landscape.
Bingo, exactly. And that's just what I mean about understanding the reasons why you're doing different release strategies, because a lot of people, and I mean, I was, growing up in the 2000s, and it's like it was albums. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to make an album, right? Because that's what you fucking all the idols, all the bands you idolized did. You looked at the music industry, and that's what they did. They did albums, right? And
bro, they were our trading cards.
And now it's especially for people that are like myself and Kyle that are like on the middle age train now. Where people in our position, it's very easy for us to get stuck in that mindset of, no, we have to do an album. We have to do an album. It's like, well,
do you really? But
we could, but why are we doing that? If we're just doing it because that's the way that we were brought up thinking it has to be done, then okay, but maybe that's not the right reason to do it. If we want to do an album to give our fans more music, let's spend time making, instead of 10 songs that are, maybe there's some filler in there, right? Because let's be honest, most albums contain some filler to a degree. Not everything is, most of the time, not everything is going to be at the same high standard.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of doing that, you go, all right, let's pick the 6 best songs, really make them as good as they can be, and then we release them every 2 months across the course of a year.
Yep.
And then instead of one big release and a couple of singles in support of that, we have 6 big releases, and we've got time to do film clips for all of them and workshop all of them. And then that gives you a year to, in the background, continue working on other new stuff as well.
Yeah.
And you can, so it's just, look, people that are listening to this, if you're really looking at releasing music, do what you want to do, right? Like, we're not here to dictate how it should be done. Yeah. And no one should dictate to you how you should release your music. Or but just all I'm saying is have a think about why. Because a lot of people just do it because that's what the trend is, or that's what they want to do for themselves more than for their fans or for the success of the band, right? Because I tell you, most of the time, if you're a new band that's coming on the scene, you don't need to be releasing an album. You are going to be wasting your money doing that. You want to have the singles, have a few singles ready to go, drop them real quick when you launch, then you can go, okay, do we keep doing singles? Do we do an EP? What do we want to do from there?
It just keeps building up. Yeah, exactly. So and every time you release a new single, then people also go and come back to listen to your previous singles, So,
this is the thing. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to really fear the whole thing of, okay, so it can go one of two ways, these things, right? Because it can either be a blessing or a curse. Because we are talking about what should happen, but this should work if your music is good.
Well, yeah.
Here's a big thing. Like, at least if you have an album, you've at least got a good handful of chances to try and capture someone in that one sitting. right?
But are they going to listen to the whole album?
But at least they've got.
If you're not going
think
about
it like this.
if you're not capturing in the first couple of songs, then they're not going to listen to the whole album.
Yes, but as opposed to if you do one bad song, they're probably never going to come back to you again.
It's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. They're still not going to keep. They're still not going to continue to listen. But I think
it's just a chance. Yeah,
it is.
It feels like sort of like a chance, and you can't please everyone, obviously. So,
no.
Everyone has different tastes, and it feels like there are, well, for example, like there are plenty of bands that I've heard songs of, and I didn't like them at first, but then I sort of came back to them later when they released something else, and I sort of decided to give them like a second or even sometimes a third chance, and I really like them. I think it's that's actually it's a good counter argument to your argument, Kyle, because this way, then if you just drop an album and a person tries to listen to like first 3 songs, doesn't like it, you're not going to appear in his feed again until you drop like the next album in like 2-3 years,
Yeah, sure.
But then when you keep releasing singles, you are sort of like, you keep appearing in their feed maybe like every 2-3 months.
Yeah,
right?
true. And especially if you're going up, people are like, how is this getting more popular? I may as well give it another listen.
That's it. Yeah.
Good point. All right, I'll gladly take that. I'll glad there, because look, I think the waterfall release system is really good. I think it gives you time to, if you can write an album's worth of music, and then drip feed it over a year, and then have that year to write more music for the next year, and just have a schedule like that. It takes a lot of pressure off you, because you've got all that stuff to look forward to for the year, and it keeps you working, it keeps you busy, rather than doing the album, having that 1 month of promotion for it, and then it just sort of disappears, and then you're working on the next one. Whereas if you're constantly reminding yourself every month that new songs are coming out, okay, we got to do more. Yeah. It keeps you busy, keeps the fire
constantly
roaring.
Promoting, constantly got something new on the boil. I mean, I fully agree with what you said though about like you come back to bands down the line and you kind of get on board with them with later releases. Like a great example of that for me was how I got into Machine Head, because I never had really had Foxtel or whatever, but my mate who lived down the road used to set the VCR to tape Headbangers Ball, right? And he'd bring that up, then we'd watch it or whatever. And I was like, Machine Head, like the film clip for Davidian or whatever would be on there, and I'll be like, okay, like, yeah, okay, it's heavy, but I was like, what's with this guy's voice? Like, I wasn't getting it. It just wasn't clicking for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're down the road, and I'm like, I saw they were getting more popular or whatever, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then when they released the Blackening, one of my friends at TAFE was like, you might actually really like this one. Like it's a bit of a new, they're doing something a little different with this one. So I was like, all right, I trust him, so I'll give it a shot. And that was the album that made them like click for me. And then once they'd clicked with that album, all the previous stuff made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things, like once you get it, it makes it, you kind of understand what they're about, and you get a bit more familiar with the nuances of what they do. And then all of a sudden the previous stuff makes more sense. And I'm not saying that's going to happen every time. Like, there's always going to be instances where you like some albums by a band and not others. I'm not saying you have to like every album from a band to be a fan of that fucking band.
No, far out.
Gatekeepers looking at you, people who want to fucking, call people posers for wearing a shirt and say, name 3 songs and all of that bullshit. Fuck right off.
All you should be concerned about is whether the band shirt that they're wearing, that they got all the royalties for wearing that, for that person buying the shirt. and you should smile because then your favorite band is getting paid, regardless of whether the person knows about them or not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. And yeah, so I mean, you mentioned as well. You said you got getting back to Blackened Rose. Sorry, this is tangent city on here. This is we go.
That was a good conversation.
That was a great conversation.
We go on this stuff. So you guys have a show coming up on the 29th of November at Darling Nikki's with Department of Gloom, who we mentioned before, and 5 Hertz. So that one's going to be pretty exciting. I think I have to get there. When did Darling Nikki's even become a thing? It must have been after I left Sydney.
It's not a bad joint. It's got a really big band room.
Yeah.
So I've got a nice stage and stuff like that. It's a big room. Pretty nice pub. Bit of a pain in the bum to get to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit off to the side, sadly, yeah.
Yeah. But it is a pretty tidy spot, and it would be nice really during the summer. Good beers too. All those places in the city have really nice beers, so I'm always a fan when I go there.
Okay. Well, I might have next time I'm down. I'll have to see if there's anything.
Yeah, we'll go check out a show.
That's going that's just going to be worth seeing. I think because it's been popping up a lot from a lot of my the bands I'm still mates with from Sydney talking about it. So have to get down there and check it out.
They have quite good management. So like. And they're pretty open to bands organizing their shows there,
Oh yeah,
like, they're not actually like gatekeeping their venue.
Supportive of live music. Good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sadly, like I've dealt with venues that just only put like their own little circle of bands on, or like, and they wouldn't even like reply to any emails or like. Yeah, we'll just.
I'm dealing with that right now. I'm dealing with that right fucking now. I swear to God, like I'm emailing out because okay. If any venue people are watching this far into the podcast, firstly, hello. Secondly, respond to some fucking emails for the love of God. Like I've been reaching out to venues up here to try and tee up something next year because I don't know. I'll say it. I'll put it out there. We are looking at running a show. Or 2 next year under like the Two Dudes banner. And I've been reaching out to venues because some of the venues in Fortitude Valley up here, man, they get booked out like 6+ months in advance, right? So like I'm reaching out now for this thing because we're looking around the middle of the year and like I am getting just blanked completely. And people, some of the people I've talked to are like, oh yeah, but you usually have to get a promoter. I'm like, okay, but we're going to be the promoter. Like, I don't want to add another promoter in. Like, we're going to be getting the bands on, and then I don't want to have the bands be dealing with me, and then me dealing with another promoter, and then that promoter dealing with the venue. That's another person in the chain that's doesn't need to be there. And if they do deal with specific promoters, put that info there. Make it easy to find. Like I think venues and they've just got their own direct email address, and then they ignore any queries about a gig because we have our promoters that deal with that. Fucking reply and say, hey, for a gig you need to talk to this promoter. I'm just saying, venues, get your act together. It's like you don't want people to play there.
No. Are you trying to tell us something, venues?
Yeah.
We're not going to listen.
Anyway, sorry, I'll cut that off there. Otherwise I'll go for like 15 fucking minutes.
You know what else? Unicorns were real.
But no, seriously, if there is any Brisbane venues that would be open to hosting a show run by us mid next year, let me know. Go drop us a line, the twodudestalkmusic@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. We'll make some shit happen. But hey, look, it's cool, man. I mean, look, I'm looking forward to hearing more from you guys and what you guys are doing. Like I said, I think it's a very unique sound in the Australian scene at the moment. There's not really a lot of other bands that are out there that sound like you guys, which is really cool. I mean, that's you're filling a spot in the market that people aren't necessarily going to be getting elsewhere. So I think that's a really good move.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just sort of more broadly, with no specifics really, but sort of what are the, when we look, we're coming up towards the end of 2025. Do you have any sort of broad strokes goals for the band for next year?
I think the general goal for us is really to just expand the fan base, release quite a few singles, sort of, and hopefully start thinking then about something like of a longer format, like most likely I would say like an EP. Like I would love to drop like a 5-track, something like that. Just as a bit of a statement. I think EP still is a bit more of a statement from the band that like, hey, we're not just, dropping a song by song by song, but like actually like can come together and do something a bit longer, something a bit more ambitious,
Yeah, good.
So I think that's the general sort of like the broader plans, that I think I have a bit more control over. in achieving. So just going to be releasing music, playing shows, getting that fan base expanded, like really nurturing the relationships with all the different people around the scene. I think that's just the main goal for me right now. I just want the band to get out there again and just get within the community.
Awesome. Hitting that grind.
Good.
Hitting that
That's
grind.
it.
That's important. That's important. All right. Well, look, thank you so much, Alexei. This has been a great chat. Anytime, keep us updated on what you've got going on. Always happy to, to have you on to talk about the stuff. And, when you're going to be up around Queensland Way, make sure you let us know. I'll try and get out to something for sure.
For sure.
But
hopefully, like, I really hope that next year we would be able to actually do a few interstate shows. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out on stuff. For everybody who's watching and listening, we will have links to all of the social medias down in the description, so you can go and follow Blackened Rose wherever you prefer and keep an eye on what's going on. Make sure you get out to gigs and listen to the tunes and show these guys some love, because they, I'm really excited to see what else is coming next. Thank you again to Alexei. It's been awesome chatting to you, mate. Thank you to everybody watching along and or listening at home. If you've enjoyed today's episode, hit that thumbs up button. Maybe consider subscribing. We are on a journey to try and get to 5,000 by the end of this year. We do also have the Patreon for a couple of bucks a month that you might want to check out. And if you didn't like the video, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, I am the Reverend Raff, along with the beer buddy Kyle. We are the two dudes who talk music. Thank you very much for listening. Take care of yourself and your mates, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel, and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.